Hello, welcome. In this lecture, let us understand few basic things related to Agile methodology. Let us understand firstly what is Agile. Before Agile, what was the practice? Why Agile came up? The evolution of Agile methodology, some real life use cases and examples, and the difference between Agile and Waterfall. Let us discuss these things one by one. Firstly, what is Agile? Assume you are developing a software application, let us say e-commerce website or a shopping website. First, you develop an user account and login management, right? And then you develop product display page, then you develop a search function, then you might develop add to cart. Like this, you develop a software piece by piece, and then you get the feedback from the customer. This methodology is called Agile methodology. You develop a module 1, get the feedback from the customer and fix that issues, and then you develop the module 2, and then again you get the feedback from the customer and fix if any issues are reported by the customer. Similarly, then you develop module 3 and then again get a feedback and fix, and this process continues till the entire software is delivered, right? That is why you can define Agile as a way of developing a software that focuses on flexibility. It focuses on flexibility because in the middle of the development process, customer might be requesting for certain change. We should be able to accommodate that, and we should be continuously collaborating with the users and the customers. In this Agile methodology, we will be collaborating with the various stakeholders, and progress will be communicated, and if there is any feedback from any team, that will be taken into consideration. And in this Agile methodology, we will be delivering a small pieces of the project quickly. Instead of delivering everything at one point, we deliver a part by part small pieces of software. So in the Agile process, instead of planning everything at the start, Agile allows teams to work on short cycles and get the feedback and make the improvement continuously. It is like piece by piece, checking each step to make sure you are on a right track. When you show your work to the customer and you get a feedback, then you can ensure that you are on the right track. And let us understand what was the practice before Agile. Before the Agile, there was a waterfall model, and many companies have moved away from the waterfall model because it is a legacy model and not flexible. In the past, people used something called waterfall method to develop a software. In this method, everything was planned from the start, like drawing a blueprint of a building before starting the construction. Once the plan was made, developers would work for months or even for years without showing a progress to the customer until the whole project was done. In this waterfall model, you will not show the progress to the customer until complete project is done. One of the major problem with this model is if there was a mistake, it will be very costly to fix since the whole thing has already been built, because you have built everything and then you are showing to the customer. If there is any change required, then it will be difficult and costly. Now let us understand why Agile methodology came up. Just now we have understood there is a problem with the waterfall model. That was the main reason Agile methodology came up. People realized that software development is different from building a house. When the requirements of the customers are keep changing, waterfall method was when the requirements of the customers are keep changing, waterfall method was not flexible enough to handle those changes. To solve this problem, group of software experts gathered and they created a manifesto which introduced the Agile development. Now let us understand about the evolution of Agile. Agile actually started in 2001, and there are various frameworks of Agile such as Scrum, Kanban, Extreme Programming. We will discuss about these frameworks in detail in the later part of the course. Once the Agile started in 2001, there are various frameworks that are mentioned here have been developed. Agile became very popular because it helps the teams to adapt to changes quickly and deliver the software that customers love. Now let us understand about the real-time use case where we can apply the Agile methodology. Let us say you want to create a mobile app to order a food. Instead of building the entire app in one go and launching it 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months later, which may fail because customers may not like it. Agile methodology you can follow. First thing is you just build a menu part in the first cycle and show it to the customer, get the feedback and make an improvement. Then you can build a cart management related function, then show it to the customer and get a feedback. Then you can build a checkout functionality, show it to the customer and get a feedback. Then you can build a user profile related functionalities. After each small functionality development or enhancement, you show it to the customer and get the feedback. In this way, you avoid wasting a time and can make sure customers are happy with each part before moving to the next, right? In this way, it will help in saving the time and effort, and customers will be happy because they are getting the frequent update and their feedback also being considered. This picture represents the difference between Agile and Waterfall. In Agile, the development works happen in cyclical manner. Each small part of the software is developed and then it is launched after the feedback, right? In the waterfall model, we will go forward only after a previous step is completed by 100%, right? So this is the main difference. Here you will have a multiple iterations of the product. In Agile methodology, product is developed in multiple iterations and each iteration will develop a small part of the product and you get the feedback and then you develop a next functionality and so on. Here complete functionality is developed first and then only it will be given to the customer, right? That is the main difference between Agile and Waterfall method of software development. Now in the introduction to Agile, we have discussed about what is Agile and we have discussed that there was a Waterfall methodology before Agile which was not flexible to adapt to the changes. We have also discussed why Agile came up. The main reason was Waterfall model was not flexible to adapt to the changes. And we have discussed that Agile is started in 2001. Once it started, there is also many frameworks that have been developed. And we will discuss about these frameworks in detail in the later part of this course. We have also discussed about the real-time example of food ordering app where you can develop a menu part first and get a feedback. Then you can develop a cart management part and then get a feedback, right? Like this, you can develop a small parts of the app and get a feedback from the customer and then continue with the development. And finally, we have discussed about Agile versus Waterfall. In the Agile, the product is developed in iteration. Small parts of the product is developed in each iteration and we get the feedback. In Waterfall model, entire product is developed before giving it to the customer, and this waterfall model is not flexible for adapting to changes in the requirement. Thank you for watching.